it was before, right, Dom? I think it was before, or it was after the match. After the match.
Mm-hmm.
After his match, they were victorious over Dignitas. It was great. Like, I'm sure that was a tough game. Gets voted all pro, and Jizuke hits a post where basically he's recapping his year. He hasn't posted in a while, hasn't recapped his year. He recaps his year, both the spring and the summer, and how he's grown. But in there, it is all in Italian as well. So that is the other thing that needs to be stated. It is all in Italian. In there, the way that Facebook Translate said, and let me just pull it up so I don't misrepresent this at all. Jizuke. 2 eyes. There's all these Jizukes. Is it this one? Where's his... Oh, no, I can't find his Facebook post. If someone wants to link me the Facebook post, no, you can't do it because you'll get banned. Is it this one? I can't find it. No, Jizuke, Facebook. All right, cool. All right, let's read exactly what the post translated said. I got it. I caught one thing caught me specifically. Let's see. He said, Peter Dunn, I had a lot of confidence that we would be able to do great things, having the same idea of how we want to play. Obviously, it couldn't be that easy. Our hard work wasn't rewarded or considered, and going into playoffs, having a weakness like Deftly, we really didn't manage to win. Now, that is what is translated by Facebook, right? So it's an auto-translated thing. And then we had... some Reddit experts out there that speak Italian that were like, hey, this is what he said. And throws in like the spicy quote about shitting on Deftly that popped up. And so they translated it basically the same way. And he said, I'm an Italian speaker. This is basically what he said. He doubled down in the comments. And so for me, I saw this post. I get tagged in it because everyone knows Deftly. I worked with Deftly. I am a big advocate for his career and him as a person and as a player and about how he prepared, all that good stuff. And so I see it and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that he means this. I'm incredulous. Like, I'm actually giving him the benefit of the doubt. Must be the translation. Let me reach out to Evil Geniuses because everyone's like, this whole thread, it gets voted all the way to the top. Everyone's like, haha, yeah, definitely lols. And actually there was a lot of people too that were like, this is pretty fucked up. I didn't even jump on that train either because I honestly think things get lost in translation when you speak another language. And so reach out to Evil Geniuses like, hey, need some clarification on this. Otherwise, someone's feelings might get hurt and not mine. And so I get like this non-response back. It was kind of like this, yeah, well, we're not sure what we want to say yet. And so I push back and I'm like, hey, I need a quote. Was this mistranslated or not? Can you please clarify? And so I do get this from Andy Barton, who says, quote unquote, it was definitely a misstatement. As Jizuke was trying to say, it was harder to win with Deftly versus Danny. Simple. That's all we needed here. But I would say that for someone who was literally replaceable last year, for someone who was literally known as a coin flip streamer on the LCS, it would be extremely short-sighted for them to shit on the lowest common denominator who doesn't have the ability to respond after having 4 good weeks and goldfish memory by people that vote on All Pro. That would be very, very short-sighted and probably one of the worst teammate things in the history of League of Legends to ever do, to shit on someone and blame their own shortcomings on them. Because there's no way someone would actually do that hasn't proven anything and had 4 good weeks and luckily a meta that supports them. Because we've seen what the meta looks like when it's mages and people ban out Ryze against Jizuke. He gets replaced by Golden Glue, who got replaced by Damonte, who got replaced by Ryoma. So I just wanted to get that out there and say that for everyone that was shit talking
either
either
side. How did Tommy
side.
catch a stray in this? How did Tommy get brought into this? What the fuck?
Because, so just wanted to clear that up one, right? So on Jizuke, be better about how you phrase things. Just talk about Danny. Danny's great. Look, there's your bet win there, LS. Danny's great. He fits better for this team. He can create with less resources and make more of it.
Some might argue for any team. Who knows?
And for any team. Yeah, we'll see. So I think that's great. Like, Danny's great. He fits in there. Say that. It is easier to win with with Danny than Definitely. For him, for his team. Sure. That's fine. Right? Well, where's the copium, right? You can also say, hey, evil geniuses, when something like that comes out, why do I have to pull teeth and ask twice for a quote before me ripping Jizuke a new one, right? I had to caveat it now because it's lost in translation. But like, cover your player. And then lastly, Reddit hive mind. Why are we so quick to shit on players rather than uplift others? Jizuke had a hell of a final split. He is a first-team All-Pro. He's finally achieved some of the potential people have seen over the last 2 years since scouting him. That's great. Let's celebrate that. Let's not go out of our way to shit on former teammates and former pros and friends of theirs while you're still playing when you don't have the credibility to do so. That to me is bad. That, when you don't have the credibility to do so, that to me feels bad. And so copium not needed on this one. I've had 2 days to sit on this and like feel everything and go through this whole emotion of like, there's no way that the coin flipper, there's no way. This is the same guy that ran it down to CLG, fastest death in the league. He's going to go down in the history books for bad stuff. Thank goodness he got first team all pro, so he's in the history books for good stuff. So anyway, that was my rant. That was my spiel. Go ahead. And like, yes, it is about Definitely, but also Double, like people said in the comments, Double have said this about Yellowstar. Yeah, after Yellowstar and Double if retired, go watch the clip. He talks about Ole and he talks about Yellowstar. While they were still teammates, didn't shit on him. It was at the end of the year. And Yellowstar still had the opportunity as he went back to Fnatic to go ahead and correct his career, right? Very, very different. So
what I'm hearing is that a team needs to pick up Definitely. A team needs to let Definitely right his wrongs. The last 5 years were a fluke. Golden Guardians, where are you at?
Golden Guardians was a fluke, yes. I'll say that. I mean, the last time something this bad by a team or team member was done was at Golden Guardians by my former boss.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say CLG's off season. All right.
Actually, okay. The Bud Light beheading is up there, but also, I'm not sure if people watching this video, I don't know how long you've been following League, but back in season 8, we had a quote. It sunk a whole media factory because no one wanted to talk to them anymore. It was, so over the off season we got a little bit better.
This is your Hunter Lee impression?
Formerly, we had 4 good players. Now we have 5. That's what I would say is different.
No, it was 5 great players now. We had 4 good players before. Now we got 5 great. Somehow all 4 of them just got better by Mickey coming in. Yeah. Holy fuck.
So whatever happened to Mickey?
Mickey moved over. He went. So after that, so Mickey was a part of this a little bit too. After his contract didn't get renewed at Golden Guardians, he went on a Korean talk show and like shit talked the whole organization. Which fine, shit talk them, don't shit talk me. And then he bounced around on like APK Prince for a little bit, and then got picked up by Excel, I believe, over in LAC. David Lim gave him the shot. David Lim, D-Lim, former coach of Team Liquid, who used to coach Mickey. See how that works. Gave him another shot. He performed okay. He did the same thing. He's a dice roller. And so, yeah, that was Mickey. So anyway, that to me is just shitty teammate behavior if that is what came about it. And if it gets lost in translation, then the team needs to do better to help him with translation. Those are my takeaways.
I mean, I would assume it didn't. I would assume that it's just literally like him just trying to be honest. And that's probably how he actually feels. He probably like looks at his team. He's like, well, I mean, I think it's pretty easy to do that also, like to not even notice, like if you're in the team, like what's the most obvious change that they made? They replaced Definitely with Danny, and now they're suddenly a top team, right? So from his perspective, like, it's probably just him saying what he thinks and not like thinking about, oh, like how do I have to portray this to media, because a lot of players don't even want to begin like to think like that. And if you look at Jizuke and how he is as a person, it's not like this guy is huge on social media, always tweeting. Like, he doesn't really care about that shit. Like, so I would assume that he was just trying to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, a big thing is Peter Dunn is here in physically in NA, so no longer remote coaching. And so Peter said it, phrased it great multiple ways and multiple times. Like, so I know that's not like they haven't had training. I'm sure Peter has worked on how he's going to say it. So like, to me, that just felt like bad teammating. And for people pointing to Doublelift, like that I don't think that's valid. Like, you've had rifts with your teammates. I don't remember you shitting on Piglet. Like,
until like season 8, season
that's
9.
my point, right? And that was probably your most like conflict.
Like, man, I don't have to hold this. I mean, look, I didn't even mention the Quas situation until he mentioned it on stream like 5 years later. Like, I know what to keep under wraps and what to actually like go public with.
Yeah. So yes, it feels bad that this happens to a player that, like, obviously the closest player that I am to, but I would call this out on any teammate. And people like,
whatever happened to Definitely DGON?
To be honest, I don't know. I think he's in school right now, in business school, but I'm not sure. I haven't checked in a little while.
He's actually like done with League then, I would assume.
I'm not sure, but I would assume that would probably be closer to true than not. I don't think you go to school and then come back, right? A lot of the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially at that level, maybe collegiate, but that would be real BM.
I mean, he gave it like, I mean, look, it
was like
Pro
4
League
years.
Legends. It's not for everyone, and he gave it 4 years, right? Like, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a career. Made money, all that good stuff. Great.
Not everyone can be the next LS, all right?
Dude, I'm a fucking cockroach in this industry. 17 years.
True.
Multiple titles, multiple roles. Apparently,
multiple games, all different genres. Like, fucking.
In multiple phases of your life. I heard you were lining up for T1 Academy here at that support role, right? That was what you were doing. You're beating T1. I mean, heck, T1 to 5th place. This is the lowest they've finished in playoffs, right? Before. Either they didn't make playoffs or they were like top.
We can finish second. It's actually pretty easy to finish second.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just win your games with it. No, actually.
No. Well, we are at the mercy of Damwon beating Sandbox and then Genji beating Nongshim. Yeah. And then we get second.
That's not bad. It's doable.
Yeah.
Hopium. T1 second. T2. What was the other point?
Wait, but T1 still has to beat Chovy.
Dude, Chovy's like fucking Superman if he was sleeping in kryptonite right now. Okay, like his teammates, like if Shizuke wrote that post about Deathly, Chovy would write a fucking, oh my god, I don't even know, a death note about his 4 teammates.
Jesus, man.
At least Chovy got paid, man. Good for Chovy. Chovy coming to you. If I'm Evil Geniuses, I sell Jizuke high because he's first team all pro. It raises his value, and then go get Chovy, like what they tried to do last year.
I just want to point out how fucking terrible it must feel to be Chovy's teammate and actually like lose every game. How bad must you feel at night?
Oh,
I just don't even know.
Just know that you, like, oh god, that's the thing. It's like a pro player, like,
so fucking bad. You're so bad.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Wasn't that Piglet rough. Season 4, right? You have Faker there in your mid lane. They don't make playoffs, and then he comes to North America. I'm telling you, dude. Chovy to NA.
It was pretty rough because, I mean, I don't think people even really remember how those last series went in season 4 that led to like Pumandu and Piglet getting benched, but it was actually like they were running it down every single game in lane. I didn't know that at the time. I wasn't as big of a LCK watcher,
An OGN watcher.
Yeah. Champions Korea.
Champions Korea. There it is. Shout outs to Monty, Doa, Chobra, and I'm not sure if Atlas was there at the time, but Atlas as well.
No, Atlas wasn't there yet.
Okay. Or maybe Valdez. Maybe not. All right. All right. So there's our rant. Be better, Reddit. And I guess we'll get more answers on the crackdown